I am Francesco Fuscaldo, born in Spezzano Piccolo, Cosenza, Italy, 19 January 1945, specific 3 p.m. My hometown is on a mountainside, like there's so many towns surrounded, like North Vancouver or Whistler, like on a mountainside, 800 meters above sea level. And over there, with the people of the town, we know each other very well. And over there, you can go play with the kids, run here, run there. Soccer was the main event of that time, which I was crazy about soccer. Gravel road, we didn't have a proper field, and I come all wounded, bleeding, and it was not an easy thing. But we love soccer, no matter what. My family is, according to what I come to figure it out through, they are in the town or next town from the 1600th century, as I researched a little bit. And then people intermarry from to the next town, they go to another town, they localize very well. And my family were about 5 boys and 1 girl. And here's my mother, my cousin, and the mother there. Here's my brother and sister. And here's my uncle, my father-in-law, and another couple of cousins, my father cousin. 1960, Torino, Italy. I was barely 15 years old. The oldest brother and the youngest, which is no longer with us. Here's my mom. Here I was 17 years old on the ocean side. That's a big rock on the background. My life began when I was 7 years old. 7 years old to start in school in the morning, and in the afternoon at a tailor shop. Because after the war, there were too many kids on the street, and Papa can't afford to buy the shoes, running around and everything like this. So I choose the tailor shop. Okay. Here we're in a tailor shop in Cosenza. That's me here up there, and here with my friend. Until I was all the way up to 15 years old. At 15 years old, my godfather let me arrange to find a job in North Italy, in Torino. So I was there for 1 year. And I really liked the big city. It was different than the small town. So when I come back, I noticed the small town was not good for me anymore. I want to go away. Then we heard through a friend, which Canada opened up the immigration, mass immigration for skilled people. And here the cousin tailor, which he teach me how to tailor. He was a master tailor there. So that time I had the opportunity. I have to go finish the apprenticeship, go get pass the test for the license as a tailor, and then I come to Canada. This is my original Italian passport and landed immigrant paper. But the trip was a special trip for me. I had a cousin in New York, and we went to Halifax, go down on Halifax, register as an immigrant, go back to the ship, and from the ship, Halifax, New York. And then at midnight was like a Canadian border security or CMP, I don't know. We were all together, about 20 people. New York Center, we boarded the train. Overnight in the morning, we came to Toronto. That's where I met my cousin and the rest of the family. And from there, I am in Canada. when I came to Toronto, I stayed a month and a half, doing nothing. Stay with my aunts, cousin, and family. It was okay. And then we get a neighbor, another Italian guy. They were working on a factory. He was a foreman or a tie cutter. He was the head cutter, and he got a job for me there. Start to cut tie. When I was there cut tie, they says I was no experienced with the machine. They put me on a sewing machine, and the sewing machine, it was nothing for me cutting tie. So I went through all the way up. So I got tired of it, and I'm looking for another job. Another job. The language was a big barrier. You try to speak, but we don't understand the language. You don't get a very good job. So I ended up working on a company where they were making overcoat for lady. And over there I noted there were some people, sometimes because I was tailor, they were not. They were jealous, so it was a little bit of controversy. I quit the job, and I'm looking for another one. Another one, I ended up working on a chemistry department. And the chemistry department, the guy says, "Oh, you don't speak English." He was a chemistry engineer. He said, "You don't speak English, I cannot give you a job." Then he said, "Let's see what you can do." He took him to the laboratory, a small room, and he said, "You understand this?" So when he showed me what it was the pharmacist scale, gram and milligram, and this. I said, "Yes, I grew up with this." Oh, he said, "Really?" He says, "You got a job." I says, at that time in Canada, metric system didn't exist. It was all imperial. That was a job. It was a beautiful job. I love it. But then I become allergic to the powder, chemistry powder. I have to quit the job. And then I went back on the tie business. That's where I end up with the tie there. Over there, no sewing machine at the tie, cutting tie. I had a table for myself, stayed there for a few years. In the meantime, I got married. And then I come here in Vancouver for 2-3 days for my sister's wedding, and I never went back. I'm here in Vancouver. In those years I was in Toronto, before coming to Vancouver, always you're looking for a nice girl, for get married or something. Didn't go well for that. So then my friend come from Italy. We went on a tailor shop together, and then showed me the wedding film. They don't know what to do. I said, I got the machine, I got everything. I developed. And then on the film there, I said, "Who's that girl?" She said, "My sister." So that was for me an excuse. Right away I packed it in for Italy, and I went there to meet my wife today. And here was me young with my wife. We were in love at that time, young age. Looked like that time I should have gone forever. I let her come here like a student. In the meantime, I become Canadian citizen. We got married, and we don't have to be bothered doing paper back and forth. So she was here. We got married, big wedding, and in Toronto, and that's it. And that's where family life began. So here the younger couple expecting. Okay, here is the firstborn, Conchetta. And here the baptism, the day when she's been baptized in Toronto. And there she is. When we were in the apartment, some member of the family and some friend. Conchetta started to walk, barely on the board today. She started to balance herself. And here at the baptism at church in Toronto. And that's the rest of the family. They're here. Yeah, okay. So 1974, I end up here in Vancouver, staying rent for about 5 years, and then 1979, I bought my first house, 427 East 10th. That number is printed in my mind and never goes away. The first thing you do, the first thing you buy, you never forget. So I end up having a neighbor. It could be better than that. He come on the fence to introduce himself. My name is Kurt, I am Frank, blah, blah. And we become friend. What a friend. He has to build the fence. He didn't want no pay, nothing, my share. So he put a gate. So we go like this. Every 2 weeks I go over for a coffee, and 2 weeks he come over to my house for coffee or a glass of wine. What a neighbor. I had the best 10 years of my life on 427 East 10 with Kurt Shoemaker and his wife. We went camping together, we went hunting together, and what a life. That was something else. What a good time we had it. Yeah. He was such nice person, him and the wife. I used to call him the big brother. He come from Stuttgart, Germany. Yeah, a lot of memory with him, really well. So when I came here in Vancouver, very difficult to find some friend. The only one I met was Johnny and Lisa. Since then, we stay friend until the last day. Johnny, over a year ago, passed away. We stay friend for over 45 years until the end. Here we went to Mount Seymour with Johnny and Lisa. Johnny took the picture. Me and my wife, and here all the gang get together. Compadre Pucci, Mike, Akil, me and Johnny. Here we are. We had a lot of fun over the years. Look at that. And here again we got the Shoemaker here. And I like friends. Don't matter what. Good people, they stay until the end, until the light shine, I call it. Yeah. Yeah. Made it in Austria. Okay. Zoom 1.16. like a Rolling Stone.
Oh my God, they look at it So this is their nice. Now, yeah, if she was looking at them, yeah. No, that's a lovely. Oh my God.
But yeah, I love your mama. Bye-bye. You can say your mama when she was a baby.
They were dreaming from there. Look at that, look at that. Oh, look at him there. Oh my God.
When he was talking about something there, I don't know.
No time, Johnny, man. Look at that. See how long did I hair? Oh my God.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now we're back in. Going backward.
Oh, that is cute. I forgot this. Oh my
I
God.
remember that. Yeah. Oh, Nonna Fish, look.
Oh my God, you look how clean. Look at you.
Shoemaker car.
Look what a skinny dog. Yeah. So now
Oh,
we
there
go
you
with
are.
birds. Now you
Look
go.
at that. You take it. That's his own boat. Here.
See?
Look at that.
Oh my God.
Here. And look at that. Pants from white. I still have that jacket. Hey, look at Mom on the scramble, Nonna. Oh, it's out there. Oh, look at that body. Look at that bird. Finish it. Then when I came to Vancouver, it was not an easy job to find here, because in Toronto, you live in one factory, you find another. Here we're no factory. It was not easy to find a job. I went to a tailor shop with a German guy. He opened another business, but it didn't go well, so he let me off. I stay on hang around for a while until I find Paul of North Shore call at that time, Minichello, that's the last name. So I went to work with him, starting in the back of the shop. He had a bar for the customer and everything. So we find a little piece of wood, couple of blocks, put it together, make a table, and a little this, and then down the road to become a full sartorial shop for tailor. And since there, it became a big thing for him and for me.
Is it any wonder I reject you first? Fame, fame, fame. Is it any wonder your heart too cold to fool? Fame. Bullet for you, shooting for me. Gotta get a ranger gun.
He was going around to meet the customer, and then he get involved with the hockey player. That's when I met years ago. All the hockey player sit with me, watch me sewing on the machine, and offer me a beer, coffee, and so many personality back and forth. I don't even know at that time. I went through lots of stuff. Then Minichello used to have once in a while a fashion show for men. Some money was collected for donation, for some sort of donation money, and I used to be a tailor, dress up the boys on the back room, and then at the same I used to be a photographer in the front too. So I used to do everything. And over there, then I met the famous Bobby Hall, the best left wing on hockey from the 80s. The famous Pat Quinn always phoned me. Frankie says, I need a suit, navy blue. Be there in about a month and a half. So we all getting set up until he come and play hockey from Philadelphia at that time. Until then, he quit the hockey and then he become coaches. And then he end up here. I almost see every day until he was with the Canuck. Then he went in Toronto and life carried on. Here in the early year, 1975, and Paul of North Shore shop, you can see Paul from left, his brother-in-law next, then is me, then is his son Dino, and here Sonny Omer, the quarterback from 1970 of the Lions Football Club. Here was my 40th anniversary with the mini Kiello at the old shop. See Paul, his wife, and some of the stuff. And here is Paul again with the daughter and another girl working there. Celebrate my anniversary. That was 1999. When he gave me the watch I'm still wearing today with my own name. Never forget that one. Yeah, that was very good time at that time, yeah. Well, this last year, 2019, that was the last day, the last month I worked, I kick in 46 years with Mini Kiello. 46 years. And I remember meeting the daughter and the boy. She was only 3 years old. Now she's the owner of the company because Paul passed away. And now I'm full retired. And here we are. I'm going to show you something really special, which it was just a dream for me. My best friend closed the shop and he sold me a piece of cloth. They call it a vicuna. So 10 years later, I make an overcoat out of it. When my boss tell me, this is one of the most expensive cloth in the world, $2,500 a meter. So I made this style here, very old, from 1930, very classic style, simple. Even the lining is a special. So the cloth is woven in Italy, and my boss estimated this about $8,000. I only wore it once. That's it. Look at that, even the button, they are old-fashioned style. Everything is by hand. I made it myself. So I hope maybe one day I can wear a few more times before things are changing. So beautiful, yeah. Yeah, I remember we used to have all the hockey player at that time. They were a customer. And always a new team come in town, always they bring a new hockey player. That time it happened to be Mark Howe here. He was a young man, follow his father's footsteps as a hockey player, and that's it. I'd be able to take a picture with him in my shop. And I believe it was 1970, 80 or something like this. Can't remember. I never put the date behind. And time ago fly quick. The famous best lefty wing in the world, famous Bobby Hall, which I have the picture here. I believe it's 1976, something like that. The first game they had international with Russia, and then Canada won at that time. Yeah. Okay. Then down the road, I'll be able to, a few years later, they phoned for looking for a tailor to have participated in a movie with Al Pacino and McConaughey. So I went through. It was a hell of an experience, and I had to go try a few times for 3 minutes. It only took about 5 hours of trying. And that time the movie was 2 years behind schedule. I'd be able to find the original CD here. But even here, they say it was 2 years behind for a technical problem they had on electronic connection with Vancouver, New York, where some part was doing in New York, and there was almost 2 years behind schedule. So this is the film which I can prove it here, and here, a few years down the road, when we moved to the new shop, was my 40 years anniversary. Here, a cameraman from the North Shore newspaper came to interview me and tried to talk and say something and make some gesture, and here I am. And that kind of funny look was on the newspaper for a week. Well, here today, I enjoy what I have, I own. It was something really remarkable. Spent 46 years on the North Shore, and I see the town changing. Unbelievable. High-rise everywhere those days. But when I came in the middle of Lonsdale, like the barber says, a car used to come down, one car every 20 minutes. Now there is no way you can park. It's overloaded everywhere. And time will go by, and this is the way the city is. From a small city, now we get a big luxury, how do you call it? A lot of people looking to live near to the mountain. Have the wilderness behind the shoulder here. 5 minutes you are in a bush, river, animal, you name it, and beautiful. And this is the North Shore, they call it, North Vancouver City, which I really like. Let me remember my old town back in Italy with the mountain, and that's something remarkable which I've been living through. For me was just a dream, but sometimes the dream come true.